Hi there, my name is Nial O'Reilly and this is a short video on developmental inquiry. It's by way of introduction to our upcoming programme, Developmental Inquiry Coaching for Advanced Practitioners. Developed by Harthill to support coaches to engage in developmental inquiry coaching and to use a developmental inquiry approach to completing leadership development profile debriefs. While our main focus is on developmental inquiry as a way of coaching and debriefing, a modus operandi, let's first consider developmental inquiry as a way of living, a modus vivendi. Many of you will be familiar with this quotation from Ernest Schumacher. Everything can be seen directly, except the eye through which we see. Developmental inquiry is the process of constantly referencing the eye or the lens through which we see, how we are behind that lens, what we focus on and what we don't focus on, how the lens came to be the way it is, how the lens is changing and how we, the people we are with, and the current context in which we are looking, are impacting on as well as being impacted by our particular lens. Developmental inquiry may result in the realization that we have access to other lenses we previously used regularly but have outgrown perhaps, or lenses we used but have now regressed from, or indeed lenses we are not currently practiced at using just yet. As a way of life, intentional developmental inquiry and purposeful exploration into myself and my relationships and the systems I operate in make me an active and well-informed participant in my own life. The more skillful we get, the more capable, timely and resilient we become as we manage ourselves, our relationships and the systems we live in through the complexities and ambiguities which we encounter. I love this particular quotation from the poet and philosopher John O'Donoghue. I'd like to live like a river flows, constantly surprised by its own unfolding. Developmental inquiry may be seen as a definition for conscious living, being constantly open and aware, while at the same time being aware of the subjective experience of awareness, constantly surprised by our own unfolding. So what do we need to be able to engage in developmental inquiry, coaching and debriefing? At its simplest, we need an understanding of adult constructivist development and a capacity and a willingness to engage in reflection and inquiry. Our endeavours are assisted if we as coaches bring awareness, appreciation, compassion and curiosity, courage, a willingness to experiment, vulnerability, an ability to let go, to unlearn, flexibility, a beginner's mind, and perhaps most important of all, presence, to be with and to stay with whatever emerges in the moment. Developmental inquiry debriefing is a weaving together of data that gives the client a new perspective on the lens they are using and the action logic driving their behaviour. Weaving together the client's current context and developmental perspective, the LDF model, approach and principles, the client's unique data, the LDP report, a clue to where the most valuable place to focus might be, a set of practices to support the leveraging of the client's latent capacity in order to build the capabilities required, initiated in the debrief and followed up in subsequent coaching. while maintaining cognizance of what you as coach are bringing to the context by way of your own lens, your own meaning making, your own action logic and circumstances. For many clients, it will be their first encounter with ideas of constructivism and adult development, and there's frequently a steep learning curve for clients. The client's ability to engage is always influenced by the action logic that they're currently centered at. So, for example, an expert may come to the process with a lot of skepticism and resistance. An achiever may be impatient and wish to drive on, while somebody with alchemist action logic may actually be beyond our capacity to support them in the process. The client's circumstances might mean that they're currently in over their heads in relation to issues at work or perhaps issues in their personal life. This may make it impossible for them to effectively perform in the process at this particular point in time. In developmental inquiry coaching, we as coaches must remain cognizant of all of these factors and all this data. So perhaps our primary tasks are to help the client understand and get value from the LDP data, to help the client to use their LDP data to work on their developmental challenges and opportunities, to help them get to grips with the relevance of the LDP data in their current context, and to seed the capacity for further developmental inquiry in the client through appropriate practice. In the programme, we will explore all of these and lots more. It's our intention to harness the collective intelligence of all attending the programme. The programme is not just us sharing our knowledge. We aim to co-create a process of learning from each other as we share experience and knowledge in the continued interest of our own development, the development of our clients, and the development of the field. I hope these opening thoughts are useful and that they will stimulate your interest and your thinking in advance of the programme. I look forward to meeting you there.